Hello everyone, I am Himanshi from DNA Education and today we will be starting with our new chapter, that is periodic classification of elements. Today we will be discussing about the early classification of elements. As you know that in chemistry we have hundreds of elements and it is not very easy to understand and learn about the properties of each and every element individually. So scientists from early times, they are trying to classify the elements like grouping of similar elements together so that we can study them with convenience. So today we will be discussing about some of the observations that different scientists made regarding classification of elements. First of all, Dobereiner was a German chemist and he identified triads of elements. At that time, only a few elements were known, and Dobereiner found out that if elements were arranged in increasing order of their atomic masses in groups of threes, then the atomic mass of the middle element was roughly the average of the atomic masses of the other two elements. It means that atomic mass of sodium will be equal to the average of the atomic masses of lithium and potassium. Same in this and this triad also. Because these were the groups of three elements, hence these were called as Dobereiner's triads. However, the drawback here was that only three triads could be identified by Dobereiner. Later on came Newland's law of octaves. Now with time, more and more elements were being discovered. At the time of Newland, 56 elements were known. As we know that today we have 118 elements known. And recently in 2016, 4 new elements that were discovered were nihonium, atomic number 113, moscovium, atomic number 115, tennicin, atomic number 117, and oganesson, atomic number 118. So at the time of Newland, only 56 elements were known. Now Newland discovered that when he arranged the elements in the increasing order of their atomic masses, then every eighth element in this series repeated the properties of the first element. So he put the eighth element before the first, and so on. He compared this table with the notes of music. As we know that there are 7 notes in music, that is sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni. So according to this, Newland formulated his periodic table in which every eighth element repeated the property of the first element. However, it had some drawbacks. First drawback was that only up to calcium was this law valid. That means after the calcium, every eighth element did not repeat the property of the first element. Another drawback was that only 56 elements were known at that time, and Newland assumed that there are only 56 elements in nature and no more elements can be discovered. But this is not the case, as we know that there are many more elements today. The third drawback was that, as you can see in the table, cobalt and nickel are placed in the single slot. Similarly, these two elements are also placed in the single slot. So this was one drawback, along with that cobalt and nickel are metals, whereas all other these elements are non-metals. So this did not match with this group. So this was one more drawback of Newland's law of octaves. To rectify these drawbacks, there was a need of more elaborated classification. Then came Mendeleev. Mendeleev gave the Mendeleev's periodic law. At the time of Mendeleev, 63 elements were known. The periodic law that Mendeleev stated said that physical and chemical properties of elements are a periodic function of their atomic masses. That means that physical and chemical properties of elements are dependent on their atomic masses periodically. The term periodic here is derived from the same periodic word that you have studied in motion, that is periodic motion. Periodic means something that repeats itself after regular intervals of time. For example, as you have seen here, that every eighth element repeated the property of the first. So this is periodicity, that after every eighth element we will be getting back the first property. In the similar way, Mendeleev also said that properties of elements repeat periodically depending upon their atomic masses. He conducted a very interesting experiment. He took 63 different cards and write the names of elements over them. On the back side of each card, he wrote the physical properties of each element as well as the chemical properties. Now for the chemical properties, he took two major elements, that is oxides and hydrides. That means he wrote the formulae of oxides and hydrides of each of the elements at the back of their respective cards. Now he organized the cards such that the elements with similar formulae were grouped together, and those were the different formulas were put in the another group, and then he pinned the cards on the board such that they were arranged in an increasing order of their atomic masses, and he found out that most of the elements got fit into a table which is roughly like this. Most of the elements fit into this table on the basis of their increasing atomic masses as well as on the basis of the similarities of their physical and chemical properties. This was called the Mendeleev's periodic table, and it was based on Mendeleev's periodic law. As you can see here that in Mendeleev's periodic table there were 8 groups and 6 periods. Each of the group were further divided into groups A and B. These were the vertical columns. The horizontal rows were the 6 periods, and as you can again see that period 4th, 5th and 6th were again subdivided into first and second series. The more elaborated description of Mendeleev's periodic table is given in our book of DNA Education Key Points Science Class 10th. So you can please refer to the book for more details. Now, there were several achievements due to which Mendeleev's periodic table got very famous at that time. The first was he even neglected the occurrence of increasing atomic masses for some elements so that they can be fit into the groups of similar properties. For example, cobalt with atomic number 58.9 and nickel with atomic number 58.7. As you can see that nickel is slightly lighter than cobalt, so it should be placed first. But in Mendeleev's periodic table, cobalt was placed before nickel so that they can fit according to their properties. Second achievement was that when noble gases were discovered. At the time of Mendeleev, noble gases were not discovered because they were very inert and they remained unreactive in the atmosphere. So when noble gases were discovered, they were placed in a separate group in the Mendeleev's periodic table without disturbing the rest of the table and the arrangement. Lastly, Mendeleev also left some gaps in his periodic table. He assumed that more elements would be discovered in future as against Newland, who said that there were only 56 elements. So Mendeleev left a few gaps and even named them. For example, he named Eka boron, Eka aluminium, Eka silicon. Later on, scandium was discovered whose properties were similar to Eka boron. Gallium was discovered whose properties were similar to Eka aluminium, and germanium was discovered whose properties were similar to Eka silicon. So this was a strong point in Mendeleev's periodic table. However, there were also some drawbacks. The first drawback was the position of hydrogen. As we know that hydrogen contains only one electron, so it can either lose one electron to become stable, just like alkalis. So ideally it should be placed with alkalis. However, hydrogen can also gain one electrons like halogens, and hence it can also be placed with halogens. So it was a confusion that either it should be placed with alkalis or with halogens. Another problem was of isotopes. As we have studied that isotopes are the atoms of same element but with different atomic masses. So here elements are arranged on the basis of their atomic masses. So for example, we have carbon 12 and carbon 14 isotope. So they should be placed differently in this table. However, we know that carbon 12 and carbon 14 are actually the same element and they have same chemical properties. So this was a problem which was faced in Mendeleev's periodic table, as no position could be assigned to isotopes of elements. Lastly, In Mendeleev's periodic table, masses do not increase uniformly, as you see that cobalt is placed before nickel. Also, there was not a fixed ratio in which masses were increasing or moving from one element to the other. So it became very difficult to judge that exactly how many elements can be discovered more in between any two given elements. Because of all these drawbacks, there was again a need for a more elaborated classification of elements, which came up with the modern periodic table. This we will discuss in our next session. For more details, you can log in to www.dnaeducation.com. Thank you.